Today I'm going to show you how to spot a liar very easily and simply, and it's not as hard as you think, so let's get into it. Liars are very easy to spot. So first thing first, they'll use absolutes. So if you confront them, for example, let's just say you think your husband or partner or someone's cheating on you, and you go, I heard someone actually said they saw you with so-and-so the other day. What's going on there? Oh, no, that never happened. No, and they'll have absolutes. Definitely not. And they would actually express in a way that they would make it look like they're trying to not justify it, but trying to go defend it in a way that by using absolute words. Absolutely not. Absolutely didn't do this. My God, yes. I would never do this. I would never do that, right? They would defend it, that perception, and you can make it up, right? You can, if you want to find out if they're doing it, you can just say things like, oh, so-and-so said they saw you with so-and-so, and you see what the response is. And because liars, they don't know to defend anything. They just go, no. And because it's nothing to hide. So that's the thing. So when you've got people who are telling the truth, there is nothing for them to hide because you can just search wherever. You can check whatever you want. Whereas people who are deceptive and lie have to make these absolute statements, and there'll be grand statements of the reasons why, no, it's not the case. So if someone tries to defend themselves quite a lot, that is your first red flag and going, okay, there's something here, because liars will have to do that because they're trying to convince you that that they're telling the truth. Whereas a liar, someone who's telling the truth doesn't have to defend anything. They just go, no. So that's one part. The second part is that body language is the other part. So when you're nervous or when you're lying or you're stressed, some things will happen, okay? So first things first is that people will breathe very short. They will quicken up their words and they will breathe very shallow. Whereas if someone's in their parasympathetic nervous system, they'll usually breathe a bit deeper, they'll sit more relaxed. Whereas somebody who's stressed, which is, or deceptive, they will tend to be somebody who will speak quickly. They will breathe very shallow. They'll also hold their hands in certain areas of their body to protect certain things, right? So if they're holding their arms or around their groins or their lower abdomen and stuff like that, or around parts of their body that's very vulnerable to a danger. So around your neck, if someone does this, they're protecting their neck region. That's a dead giveaway of someone who's deceptive, because when you're in that space, you're trying to protect areas of your body that are vulnerable to attack. So people, and that's a natural response. Okay, so if people have that when they're sitting in front of you, they're holding, in front of their groin area, the lower abdomen, or their neck, or other areas which are very susceptible to being harmed, you will find that that's deceptive in a way. And the other part, which is really like a real dead giveaway, is your blink rate. That's just something you'll learn off Chase Hughes. So you go and look at his stuff online, and you'll see that he does often refer to people's blink rates is the number one giveaway for somebody who is deceptive of lying. So you can actually look at the fact that they will have shortness of breath, they will speak faster, and they will blink a lot more. And if they're doing that, then you can pretty much say that they are being deceptive and they're lying. So, and you can prime people with this. So if you think someone's actually lying, whether it's your partner or your boss, so for at work, right? If you're at work and you want a pay rise and your boss says to you, let's see how you go for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and then we'll reassess it. And then we'll look at giving you a pay rise. Now, if in that situation they can't look you in the eye, all right, so they look away, they can't look at you in the eye, that's one giveaway. So if you're in that situation and your boss is protecting certain places or turns away from you, or does get quite nervous and tries to, you do notice that their eyes are blinking a lot or they're shallow breathing, that is leading to deception, which means that they're lying to you. In 6 months' time, you're going to look at a pay rise or that review, because they're actually being very deceptive about that. So in situations like that where you've got at work and you're going for that pay rise and they give you that, oh, let's see how you go for 6 months. Have a look at what you can read through them, whether they're blinking a lot, whether they're getting faster speaking, if they are, being not looking at you from an eye level, if they're looking away from you. That leads to the fact is you can't trust them. And if you're in that situation, understand that you are working with somebody who's being highly deceptive about their intentions towards giving you a pay rise. In relationships, it's the same thing, right? If they can't maintain eye contact with you, they are being deceptive in a way. Whereas, as I said, for people who are telling the truth, they never really have to defend anything because they have no need to, because you can go through anything you want. You can go, here's my phone, here's my number, here's my Instagram account, here's my Facebook account, go through all that stuff because I've nothing to hide. And you'll find that, there is no need to defend. They just say no. So if you're being truthful, people don't need to say anything more than that. Whereas if people are making elaborate stories up, another way to check people actually is if they are making up stories, because what happens with people who lie, they'll have a story planned out. They'll have a story planned out, through a lot of different stages. They'll be quite detailed as to what the story is that they're trying to be deceptive, right? And you'll find that I can't remember yesterday, let alone 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or something like that. So what you're going to realize that if someone's got a lot of detail about a story and they play it forward, what you can ask them to do is replay it backwards. If they can't replay it backwards, means that they actually planned that story as well too, because what they'll do is actually they will sit there and go, this happened at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, did this and did this and did. They'll be very, very detailed of what happened. That's not how humans work. we discard most stuff that's not important, right? And so if someone's being really detailed about what they've been doing or done, it means they've actually planned that in advance because they're expecting a question to try and defend that deception. So what you can do in that stage, if you say, well, then let's go backwards from midnight to 6 o'clock, what did you do? And you'll find you'll catch them out because they can't go backwards because they've planned it going forward so much. So if you want to understand a lie, there's some really basic things you can do. And they work in every single situation because understanding human behavior is that it's very easy to do in that space. So if you think you're working with a liar, just very basic stuff, just do this and you'll soon know whether they're being deceptive or lying, because it tells every single time the real intention. And they're very, very simple tricks. Because most people, that's what they do if they're lying, is trying to defend. They'll make elaborate stories, and then the body gives away, the body language, the way they breathe, and all that kind of stuff will give away every aspect of them lying, because they will sit there and they can't be comfortable because their sympathetic nervous system comes in, they get stressed. And then you'll even see, like, sometimes for people, their blood flow will go from their face and their lips out to their limbs, so you'll see them go a little bit shade of white. That's also a sign of someone lying as well too. So understand that, and you can pick a lie pretty much anywhere if you understand that. So interested into your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe. There is a whole lot more I'm going to teach you on understanding human behavior, consciousness. I'm going to make it rather simple so you guys can really take an asset that you need these days in most of life, which is understanding how humans work. All right, see you later.